What's up guys, Andrew's here with another video. I'm on test server today. We're going to be looking at the ocean expansion update that's going to be coming either next week or the following week, for sure Korea next week. It's the biggest expansion of the summer. It's going to be revamping the entire ocean content. New ships, we have I think 3 new ships and a 4th new ship, which is a sort of updated fishing boat. I've talked about that in the weekly update briefly. We have new cannons, we have a new sailing system. Basically everything is getting revamped, and to kind of show you the good news is that you don't have to craft a new ship. What they've done is something really smart. Instead of having to craft a new different ship, making your sailboat and frigate useless, you now have extensions, and these extensions make your existing ship better. So you can create a sailboat or a frigate as you would do, and then extend that into the new types of vessels. So here is a frigate, but it's actually the new type. If we go into the wharf manager here, you'll see this is my sailboat. This is a new UI, by the way. So this is the sailboat as you know it from the current game. Right now we have 1 cannon on each side, and it's mainly a trading vessel. Now the new sailboat is this one. It looks very similar, but you'll notice it has the cannons are no longer being able to be manned, and they're inside the ship, and there's 2 cannons on each side. Okay, and the same thing for the frigate. The new frigate has now 4 cannons on each side, so it's more powerful. The other thing that they've changed is now there's a cannon that you can use, and this cannon basically has a new sort of cannon loading system. Before you had to press shift to kind of shoot the cannon and aim it. Now it's just Q and E, although the range doesn't seem to be too much. I don't know what R means. I think it's to extend it and prepare the fire, and then you left click to actually fire it, and there's a big, smoky effect when you do that. I think it's kind of counterintuitive. You don't know if you've actually hit the target because the smoke effect is so drastic, but pretty cool effect. You can actually get off the cannon before it's ready to fire again, so that's good as well. Let's get on this ship. I'll show you the other change they've made, which I think will make sailing a little bit more interesting. Let's see, let's go into the ship. Now we're on the ship, and I don't know if you can tell if you actually do a lot of sea monster hunting or on sailboats and stuff. You'll notice something's weird, and that is the ship seems very large. And that's because what they've done now, every time you're on the ship, your character model gets scaled down. So whenever you just touch the ship, you'll be scaled down to make it seem like the ship itself is much larger. So one of the gripes I had personally when they introduced sailboats into the game was that they seemed a little bit smaller. You kind of were expecting those NPC ferry galleys, but instead you had a smaller version. It made sense, but now they're trying to kind of give you that idea. And then when you take hold of it, you'll notice a new UI down here. So this is currents. This is going to affect your navigation speed and the winds, and it will tell you exactly if there's some troubling winds and what to do. There's a whole effect that you have to do, a minigame. And you can also, if you have cannons on board, manually shoot the cannons on the left side and on the right side as well. So you can feasibly now, you can solo sea monster hunt if you want with cannons and ramming at the same time, and that's really cool. Apart from that, you also have this whole new UI system here, where there's new equipment that can only be crafted by doing the trading mechanic within these islands. And these islands are, let me show you, we're obviously in the ocean. This is Margoria. There's about 4 or 5 islands in this chain here. One of them is inhabited by otters or Creo, and the other are inhabited by Papu. And I believe in the second part of the ocean expansion, because it's just the first part, the revamp, There will be more into the lore as to why there is Papu on one side and they're fighting the Creo or the Otters on the other side, and there's a whole trading system you can implement with them. So where are these islands? They're just north of Lima Island. They're not too far into the ocean, which is nice. So if you do want to do this, you don't have to go all the way to Port Rat, which is over here, but it's still technically Margoria. The other thing they've added is a new ocean boss. So that's why you kind of want to have the better gear, and the better gear you get through these trading systems. And as far as I can tell, you have to trade certain items that you get from the land to these NPCs, and then through multiple trades you can get a second tier and a higher tier of trade goods, all the way up to tier 5. And once you get to tier 5, you can exchange those goods for parts to get the material needed to craft the new ship parts that you need for the new vessels. And that's the only way to get them. There's no like way to gather them yourself, or you don't have to go logging forever, although they have noted that you need to, not take everything that the test server is saying for a 100%. They will change what materials you need for the parts once the content goes live next week. So I guess it's a way for them to make sure that there's not a crazy market manipulation tactic going on with people buying out all the items that they need. But as far as I could tell, they're all items that you can only get through this new area, so it doesn't matter either way. Here you can see the mount inventory. This is also part of the new UI, obviously, so it's going to look a little bit different maybe when it comes to us. There is also a sailor recruitment system, and each sailor will have a level and give you certain benefits. There is a sort of system that is in place already with the sailors now in the game, but it's kind of more fleshed out now. You can have multiple sailors, and those sailors can be leveled up to get better stats and stuff. I'm trying to see if we can get to an NPC and trade, because there is a new system where you go up to a trader. You don't just go onto the island. You go up to this trader, and then you have a menu on your ship to drop anchor, and then either barter with the trader, explore the island for resources, so you can send your sailors to the island to explore materials, get materials that you need to then trade for goods, for other goods. That's kind of like the system that they're going for. It seems pretty interesting. I believe I am only sailing beginner 2, so it's a little slow right now, and there's no gear on this boat right now. But if we hold down, I wonder if we have cannons. No, we don't. It says we have 92, but that's wrong. And yeah, there's also an ocean boss. Let's see if we can find it. An ocean boss, kind of like Veld. That's called the Eye of something, the Eye of the Ocean. And what it does is you have to team up with other people and kill that for more materials to then craft your other gear. So far that's the best kind of. We're using Google Translate for most of this information, so obviously we don't know the full picture, but this is kind of like what I've gotten from the translation so far. Yeah, I mean, this island's been in the game for about a week or two now. It's in live server, so you can check it out now, but the NPCs aren't there right now. There is a Guild Wharf manager, so you can actually bring your galley here as well. There is a fourth, well, I talked about the third ship, the Cog. That's the faster fishing boat. It is like a fishing boat where it can't be repaired, so keep that in mind. And the fourth one, I believe, is called a Karnak, and that is another extension that you can upgrade your either sailboat or frigate to, and it's basically the biggest boat that you can have. It seems to be a hybrid of both the frigate extension and the sailboat extension, so it's going to be good for both combat and trade. It's fairly large, and it's not in the game right now. It's not even on test server, so we don't know exactly what it can do, but it seems to be kind of like the end game sailboat ship that you can get. That's what you should be aiming for in the end. Yep, and that's pretty much it, guys. Not much else to talk about. The new cannons and the new cannonball system. Showed you that for a bit. There is a system, I believe, that you can shoot multiple cannons at the same time. What is this? I'm not sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys thought about this quick little update video for you guys on the test server. This should be live again next week or the following week. Usually Korea gets it first, but sometimes they do like to do global releases, though. For this type of content, I believe we're going to get it 1 week after Korea, so not the 28th, but the first week of September. So kind of cutting it close here. This is supposed to be the summer update, so summer's ending in September, but I guess we're going to get it by then, and then the week after that we'll get the second part, which is the more lore and trading system with, I believe, Patrigio's Island and this whole treasure system that's being implemented as well. We don't know too much information about that, just that it's supposed to be heavy on what Patrigio, the Night Vendor, his whole backstory is going to be involved as well. And yep, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comments down below. If you have any questions, if you want me to check out anything specific about the ocean content, let me know. I'll be playing around with it a couple more hours, and I'll let you know if I find anything extra interesting. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.